Hi folks, Basil Chapman here, sitting in for Tommy O'Brien. This is the Tom O'Brien Show. This is the last hour of a trading day that says the VIX index is up 20%, up 3.57 at 21.09. So this is absolutely fascinating. So let me go to this chart quickly. Basil Chapman here. I'm the host of the Tiger Technicians Hour at 10 o'clock every market day. And the opening call is my daily newsletter. And let me show you something that I had to wait, unfortunately, to see whether or not we would turn down today. But I've been speaking about this for a little while, that I have a technique that I call the Chapman Wave Dark News Cloud Cover. Basically what it says, I use the Dow chart for this. If I see that there's going to be maybe very high interest rates, or whether there's something in the economy that's going to affect the market, I put a little rectangle in, and I'm monitoring, and I look for internal highs and residual highs. The internal high is where it's like an earthquake, and then the residual high can be either below, exactly the same, or worse than the earthquake. And then on the downside, I call it the internal low, and the residual low could be less, it could be worse, it could be the same. In this case, I was waiting for this trend line. You see this beautiful up channel, just the simplest of tools, a trend line. One line goes to all the highs, one line goes to the lows, and it's parallel. I love that. And within that, you get resistance level, and I think we might have hit this is an internal high that was made here at 48,040 back in October. Now we're into November, and the 12th yesterday, I think we might have made a residual high. Now, what's fascinating about this, it used to be that when we made the residual high, like back in January of this year, we made that residual high in February, and we came tumbling down from the, where was that? That was, I think it was at the 45,000 area, right down to the 36,611 low of April the 7th. However, this is a little different. You see what's happened with each one of these? We've only pulled back a little bit and then gone right back. The 9-period moving average is being green, and it went pink just briefly back in the beginning of October. And then all of a sudden, look, it's green. Even with this move today, you've got a green 9-period moving average. I'll talk about that more when we come back, because there's a lot to discuss. So let me go through these things. So I did that in the update. I guess I got to do it again. So the Dow right now, INDU, is down. Oh, I always do that. I go to the wrong chart. Got it right there. INDU. The Dow is trading at this particular moment, trying to bounce a little bit. It's down 778. But look at that candle. Look at that red candle, strong red candle. You see this? Oh, you can't really see it. Maybe you can. I'm looking at Tiger TV. Yes, you can barely see it. There's a green 9-period moving average over there at 47,476. There's another one at 47,000 right there. The black one, a 14-period moving average of 47,382. We haven't taken that out yet. I'm anticipating we're going to take that out. But look at this. It's still positive. The MACD, the moving average, is still positive. The on-balance volume, whoops, that's the blue line there, is very strong. The relative strength indicator did rally, but it didn't rally as strong as it did to the high that was made on the 29th of October. But the stochastic is under 80% to 72%. That's just like a warning to say a digestive moment is coming. And this is so fascinating. In the Chapman Wave methodology, we're always looking for a peak D, the fourth highest peak, because other things can happen at a D. That means you identify the low and you go peak A. If it gets upgraded from a buy signal to a buy mode as it passes peak A and goes to leg B, invariably you say, okay, that means it could still go to a D. Well, lo and behold, we've gotten to a D right here in the weekly chart, and it's gone into the inside track repellent zone. And the 9's over the 14, the price is over the 9. The MACD is still strong. The relative strength, this gray line, is strong. The stochastic's fabulous at 85%. The on-balance volume, the blue line, is pulling back. So that says we've got to do one thing at a time. Let's just talk about the daily charts for the moment. We have to wait for Friday's close. Anything can happen on Friday. All right, so now let's go to this one step at a time. The S&P already made its high, but fascinatingly enough, it made its high in in look at this. In September, the Dow made a high, but in September. In October, the S&P made a high of 6920.34 on the 29th. Now, so far this month, we haven't gone above that by 1 penny to extend the leg A. And the Dow has, so that's very interesting. I don't want to talk too much about it right now. I'll do that in my show tomorrow, Technical Friday, 10 o'clock a.m. And let's go through to the other indices. QQQ, what did it do? It made its high in October. So we've already started December with a lower high, meaning we could start to make a peak A. That's going to be something very important to monitor. There's the arch formation. Let me show you this. I don't want to take too much time on these techniques because I'll do that in my show tomorrow. But this is called the dreaded H, where it comes down sharply and then arches over at a peak A or a B and then takes out the left side low. It hasn't done that yet, but if it does, and it does it very sharply, then you're looking at the 590 area for the QQQ. Not only that, the SMHs, and I've been looking at so closely at the SMHs, looking at this pattern, that there's that resistance. It's arching over. It's done it once at a peak A and failed, dreaded H, again there, and again there. A, each one's an A, and it keeps coming down. If the SMHs start at, they're at 342, minus 12. If the SMH semiconductors go underneath this low of the 7th of November, 336.68, you can anticipate that it's going to go down into this area in the 330s. So this is very important to have some quick turnaround to the upside. Well, is that going to happen? We'll have to watch it carefully. IWM. Very, very ugly. It's gone underneath the left side low of the 7th of, I think, November. It's down 7.25 at 236.39. Not looking good. And it's already made a peak E in the weekly chart and is starting to pull back. So with that said, let's just go to the GDX, the gold index. Made a leg, a very sharp move up from the 68 area to this, just about to touch 80. And today's trading at 77.18. There's a lot to discuss. Look at the Bitcoin. Bitcoin, ugly. I've been warning about the 97,000 area. I'll be back.